The marble steps of the Four Seasons Hotel in Beverly Hills shimmered in the late afternoon sun. Dozens of reporters crowded the entrance, microphones raised, cameras flashing, voices overlapping in a frenzy of speculation. Is Sam here yet? Will Dakota show up? Do we finally get the truth? Inside the hotel's grand ballroom, the air buzzed with an electricity that only Hollywood scandals can generate. Velvet ropes divided the press from a sleek mahogany podium placed in front of a massive backdrop bearing the studio logo. A row of chairs lined the stage. PR managers whispered furiously into headsets, glancing at their phones, checking the time. Sam Heughan, dressed in a simple dark suit, stood behind a curtain. He inhaled deeply. For weeks the tabloids had been filled with lurid headlines: secret romance, mystery trips together, Dakota and Sam's hidden life. His phone had been inundated with texts from colleagues, his publicist had nearly lost her voice fielding calls, and even his family in Scotland had been ambushed by reporters. He adjusted his tie. He had rehearsed his statement so many times it was burned into his mind. This wasn't about a film role or a new whiskey brand. This was about truth, privacy, and respect, for himself and for Dakota. On the other side of the curtain, his PR manager, Lily Shaw, a sharp-eyed woman with a clipboard, touched his arm. "Sam, it's time," she whispered. "Remember what we talked about: calm, direct, and absolutely clear. No hedging." Sam nodded. He thought of Dakota Johnson, her easy laugh, her texts checking in on him as the rumors spiraled, her own frustration at being dragged into a narrative she hadn't chosen. He thought of the night he had promised her, "I'll set the record straight. They won't use you to hurt me." The announcer's voice echoed through the ballroom. "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Please welcome Sam Heughan." Sam stepped out. Flashbulbs exploded like fireworks. 100 eyes followed him to the podium. He set his notes down but didn't look at them. He gripped the sides of the lectern, took another deep breath, and began to speak. "Good afternoon," he said, his Scottish accent steady but firm. "Thank you all for being here. I know there's been a lot of speculation recently, speculation that has not only affected me but also someone I care about deeply, Dakota Johnson." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Reporters poised their pens. Sam continued, "Ideographic period. I want to make this absolutely clear. Dakota and I are friends and colleagues. We have supported each other through projects, premieres, and public events. But all of the rumors, the insinuations, the so-called insider stories about a secret relationship are completely false." The room fell silent. Cameras clicked. Someone whispered, "He's actually saying it." Sam's gaze swept across the audience. In this business, stories can take on a life of their own. A photo, a glance, a moment, it can be twisted into a headline that hurts real people. I'm here to stop that. Dakota Johnson deserves respect, not gossip. And so do I. He paused. His hands were steady now, his voice warming with conviction. We are not, and have never been, in a romantic relationship. We are not hiding anything. There is no secret affair, no clandestine trips, no betrayal. The narrative being spun in tabloids is fiction. And today, it ends. Flashbulbs popped again. Questions erupted. Sam, why now? Have you spoken to Dakota? Do you blame the media? Sam held up his hand. I'll take your questions, but please let me finish. He glanced at Lily, who gave a subtle nod. He reached for his water, took a sip, and prepared to deliver the most important part of his statement, the part where he would not just deny, but defend Dakota publicly. Long before the podium, the flashbulbs and the frantic questions, there had been a single photograph. It wasn't even a scandalous one, just Sam and Dakota leaving the same private dinner in London during the wrap party for a charity project they had both supported. She was laughing at something he'd said. He was holding the door open. By the time the picture hit the internet the next morning, the caption had morphed from "co-stars spotted at event" to "secret lovers." Gossip blogs picked it up, fan accounts dissected every pixel of their smiles, and by nightfall a new narrative had been born: Sam Heughan and Dakota Johnson, the secret couple. From there it snowballed. A grainy video of them on a film set in Morocco, they were filming a cameo for a friend's indie movie, became romantic getaway footage. A joint interview for a podcast about mental health turned into intimate confessionals. Even their polite banter at award shows was clipped and edited into TikToks with dramatic music underneath. Sam had watched it happen like someone watching a wave roll in, powerless to stop it. At first he and Dakota laughed it off, texting each other screenshots of the wildest headlines. "We're apparently getting married next week," she joked once. But as the months went on, the jokes soured. Friends and colleagues began to ask awkward questions. Reporters started bringing it up in interviews. Fans cornered Dakota at airports, asking about her relationship. Sam's family in Scotland received calls from tabloids. It was no longer harmless fun. It was affecting their work, their reputations, their peace of mind. Backstage at the Golden Globes that winter, Dakota had pulled him aside. "Sam," she whispered, "this is out of control. They're dragging my name into everything. They're even writing about Tony, my fiancé. It's not fair to him, either." Sam remembered the guilt that flooded him. It wasn't his fault, but it felt like it was. "I'll fix it," he'd said. "I promise. I'll tell them the truth." And yet, months went by. His publicist advised waiting, hoping the rumor would burn out on its own. But it didn't. Each new project, each public appearance only added fuel to the fire. And then came the mystery kiss story, a blurred paparazzi photo from a film set mislabeled as reality. That was the breaking point. Which is why, on this hot afternoon in Beverly Hills, Sam was now standing behind the podium, determined to speak the truth for both of them. He wasn't just defending himself, he was defending Dakota Johnson, her fiancé, and their right to not be characters in someone else's fantasy. Out in the ballroom, the murmur of journalists waiting for his next words rose and fell like surf. Sam glanced down at his notes, names of the outlets, bullet points of the worst headlines, reminders of what to address. He was ready to dismantle the rumor machine piece by piece. "First," he said, raising his voice slightly, "let me tell you how these stories began." He leaned forward, his eyes locking onto the cameras. "It started with one photograph, one dinner, and then it became something else." The screen behind him lit up with a slide of the original image, projected larger than life. Gasps and whispers rippled through the room. For the first time, Sam was not just denying, he was showing receipts. For a heartbeat, the ballroom was completely still. On the big screen behind Sam glowed the image that had set the gossip machine in motion, a candid shot of two celebrities leaving a London restaurant. Sam's voice was calm but steely. "This is the picture that started it all," he said. It was taken outside a charity dinner for the Kids Without Borders Fund, an event attended by more than 150 people. Dakota and I happened to leave through the same door. Nothing more, nothing less. He clicked a remote. Another image appeared, a blurry telephoto shot of Sam and Dakota on a Moroccan street. "And this," Sam continued, "is from a film set. We were shooting a cameo for an independent project directed by a friend of mine. You can even see the camera equipment in the corner of the frame, cropped out in the tabloids version." Reporters scribbled furiously. Some raised their hands to ask questions, but Sam held up a palm, signaling he wasn't finished. "Next slide," he said. A podcast studio photo filled the screen. Sam's voice softened. "This interview was about mental health awareness. We've both been outspoken about it. The edited clips circulating online remove the context and turn it into something else entirely." He looked out at the sea of faces, microphones poised like spears. "I'm not here to scold the press," he said. "I'm here to show you how a narrative gets built out of fragments. And how damaging it is to real people." A few cameras clicked. Somewhere in the front row a reporter muttered, "He's calling us out." Sam went on, more personal now. "Ideographic period, Dakota Johnson is a friend. She has been kind, supportive, and professional. She is engaged to someone she loves. These rumors have hurt not only me but also her and her fiancé. That is unacceptable." He paused. The words hung in the air. He could feel the energy of the room shift. The click-click of cameras slowed, journalists exchanged glances. For the first time since he'd stepped out, there was no buzz of whispered speculation, just a concentrated silence. "So let me be absolutely clear once more. There is no secret relationship, no affair, no hidden agenda. I respect Dakota and her fiancé and I wish them every happiness. Please stop inventing stories about us." He exhaled. The hard part was over. He had said it all. Hands shot up. A CNN reporter stood. "Sam, why wait so long to address this?" Sam straightened. "Because for a long time I believed ignoring the rumors would make them disappear. I was wrong. And while I waited, Dakota bore the brunt of it. That ends today." Another voice called out, "Have you spoken with Dakota about this statement?" "Yes," Sam replied. "She knows what I'm saying here. She supports it. She's tired of the lies too." In the back of the room, Lily, his PR manager, gave a small, satisfied smile. He'd hit every point, and more importantly, he'd spoken from the heart. The questions kept coming, but Sam could feel the weight lifting from his shoulders. He had taken control of the narrative. Now it was up to the world to listen. Outside the hotel, hashtags were already trending. Hashtag Sam speaks and hashtag respect Dakota. Fans were posting side-by-side comparisons of the uncropped photos Sam had shown with the tabloid's versions. Comment sections filled with apologies, defenses, debates. Sam sipped his water and answered one last question. "What do you hope will happen now?" a young journalist asked. "I hope," he said, "that we can all remember actors are human beings. And that rumors, however entertaining, can destroy reputations and relationships." Then he stepped back from the podium as the room erupted in a storm of shouted questions and camera flashes.